Hello, I'm Bob Ferris, an executive advocate with Murphy Business and Financial, and we're going to be introducing an exciting tool to you, the Business Model Canvas. This particular format's available as a download from www.businessmodelgeneration.com, and its use is explained in the new book, Business Model Generation, which we recommend you obtain and read. You'll see 9 categories here that are used to give you an overview of how the business works. And I'm going to show you the results of applying a business model generation to our executive advocate program. And you're going to see the results in clip art icons, which I'm going to place in each of these blocks. Now, when you actually use the tool, you're going to use text, sticky notes, scribble ideas, brainstorm, and then put all these things together. But I'd like to show you what the results will look like. So, using our program as an example, first customer segment will be individuals who are working or have just been laid off that are just unsatisfied being employees. They are looking for the opportunity to be their own boss, to have their own business, to run their own shows. In addition to that particular customer segment, we have the people that have already done that. They have their own business, they're doing well, but they realize that they could do so much better with key acquisitions. We have individuals and owners as customer segments looking to acquire a business. The problem is 95% of the people looking to acquire a business are unable to do so. One of the main reasons is those business opportunities that are publicly available are represented either by the sellers or by a broker that is representing the seller. It's very difficult for a buyer who's having to make a large decision to feel comfortable that they've got enough information and enough insight on any opportunity to make a truly wise decision. So the primary value proposition that we have in the program for these customer segments is to work with them representing the buyer. We're going to first do an assessment of the buyer, understand their needs, and then we're going to go and do a professional search for the buyer and find those opportunities that are not publicly available. Going to find sellers who, while they're interested in selling their business, aren't interested in listing them, and therefore find key opportunities for them that they wouldn't be able to get elsewhere. Now, how do we connect this value proposition to those key customer segments? All right, our channel happens to be the seller listings that we have. As we also represent sellers as a business broker on the sell side, as we have opportunities that are good, people who are out there in those customer segments looking will find it and they will come to us. We will be able to qualify them as genuine buyers. And when that happens, if they're not interested in the opportunity that is already publicly listed, we can offer the opportunity to develop a dedicated personal relationship with them, finding their business. Now, how do we make money when we do that? There are 2 sources of revenue streams. This program is divided into 3 key segments. The buyer decides when they want to enter into each of the 3 key activities. When they give us the approval to go ahead, there's a fee that covers our cost at that stage. Now, at the end, when there's a successful acquisition, all right, there is a commission. There's a success fee for crossing the finish line. Those fees are subtracted from the commission. So in the end, the buyer only has to pay that final commission, which is less than what generally happens when a seller engages a broker to represent them on the sell side. This is also a very cost-effective program. Now let's take a look at those 3 key activities I just mentioned. The first thing we need to do is we need to clarify what it is we're looking for and go out and find potential targets. Okay, we do that with Personal assessments in the case of the individuals. We do that in the case of business models, in the case of business owners. That's where this tool is used in our program. And we go out and we find those opportunities where the customer is going to have the opportunity to be successful. And we say, here are your choices. Now, based on that, the client picks specific opportunities they want us to focus on, and we go into a focus and evaluation step. Here we come up with the valuation, here we come up with potential financing, here we come up with potential offering terms. When the client is ready to go in and make a specific offer on a specific target, we want to pull the trigger, we go into the third phase, and that enters into actually obtaining financing, working with the client, doing due diligence, putting together all the closing activities that have to happen, and getting to that successful finish line. Now, what makes this very cost effective is that the key resources that we need in order to pull off those activities are already available in our business because they're the same things that happen on the sell side. Now, we have everything here except perhaps the money. And key partners are also involved, and again, these relationships are developed on the sell side, so we already have them in place with people who are anxious to finance individuals looking to acquire business. Now, historically, buyer representation has been done by the financial community in the form of investment bankers and so forth. However, these people won't consider a deal where they don't make at least $250,000, and we're working in an avenue where the entire deal may only be $250,000. So because we're able to have those key resources already available to us, we're able to put this together for individuals who normally would be priced out of this kind of service. The cost is controlled because at each step of the way, those fees pay our out-of-pocket expenses. But at the end of the day, when we finally get success for the client, that brings in the money for us. Now, I hope you're able to sense my enthusiasm for the program, and I hope you're able to sense how this whole thing fits together. That's the power of the business model canvas. That's the power of working on a business model first before we drill down into the details of business planning and so forth. Again, if you would like more information on the business model, there's www.businessmodelgeneration.com, and of course the excellent book, Business Model Generation. Thank you.